A child drops a toy and starts to cry. An exhausted parent points a finger, gives a sharp look, and the child instantly quiets down. In that sudden silence, the child's nervous system is actually redlining. They have simply traded the outward expression of pain for an internal, isolated shutdown. We often mistake this behavior for resilience or early maturity. But when a child's distress consistently meets a wall of dismissal, they learn that their internal world has no place in the relationship. A toddler who never cries or always prefers to play in total isolation is deploying a learned psychological defense mechanism. They are protecting themselves from the pain of being ignored. Psychologists refer to the parent's reaction in these moments as caregiving deactivation. It occurs when a caregiver minimizes or fully ignores a child's need for comfort to keep the interaction manageable. Here is the loop. A child's intense emotion spikes the parent's internal anxiety. To regulate discomfort, the parent dismisses the child, forcing them to suppress their feelings. The parent ceases to function as a safe haven, leaving the child to process fear alone. Over time, this dynamic physically shapes a developing brain. The human drive to seek comfort doesn't vanish just because it is rejected. It simply gets buried under a heavy, rigid layer of self-reliance. This is where avoidant attachment begins. The child does not stop hurting. They just stop trusting their caregivers with their pain. Now, consider a different scenario. A parent might offer warm hugs, attention, and praise, but only when the child forces a smile or acts happy. This practice is known as conditional positive regard. Rewarding a child exclusively for displaying positive emotions acts as a powerful tool for emotional control. The child quickly learns the rules. Their messy, difficult feelings are a burden. Love becomes a transaction that requires them to hide their authentic self. To cope, the child begins to self-soothe in isolation. Eventually, they may lose the ability to even recognize when they are sad or anxious, disconnecting from their own physical and emotional needs entirely. To survive this environment, the child constructs an invisible wall, sacrificing true emotional connection to maintain the illusion of being loved. Fast forward 20 years, and that childhood wall becomes an adult reflex. This defensive distance is now deployed against romantic partners and close friends. This is avoidant attachment in adulthood. On the surface, it looks like fierce independence. Underneath, it is a deep-seated terror of intimacy and rejection. You see this when adults withdraw during conflicts or suppress negative memories. When a partner asks for emotional closeness, the individual perceives it as a threat, something suffocating or clingy, and they pull away. This adult is now perfectly primed to pass the exact same emotional dismissal onto their own future children, repeating the cycle. It is a tragic paradox. Despite the outward distance, they still possess the same desperate, unmet desire for human contact they were denied as children. Ending this cycle begins with recognizing these avoidant patterns in yourself. That awareness is the first step toward repair. Think of a tantrum or a sudden withdrawal as a coded message. These are often the only tools a child has to signal an unmet emotional need. Rebuilding connection takes specific physical steps during moments of distress. It means dropping to their eye level, offering physical proximity, and using a warm tone instead of issuing an immediate correction. Psychologists call this co-regulation. The parent acts as an external emotional anchor, absorbing the stress so the child's nervous system has the safety to settle. You don't have to immediately fix the problem. By simply validating the emotion, you reestablish yourself as a secure safe haven. Every time you co-regulate with a child, you give them a piece of an internal blueprint. Eventually, they use that blueprint to regulate their own emotions healthily as they grow. This is the concept of earned security. Through self-awareness and intentional healing, an adult with an avoidant history can rewire their attachment style. Providing a secure base doesn't mean lacking boundaries. Predictable structure with empathy teaches a child the world is safe to explore. Breaking the invisible wall doesn't require flawless parenting. It only requires the courage to be consistently emotionally present.